Hello friends, Zachary Stockill here from retroactivejealousy.com, and in today's video I'm going to talk about what I believe to be the number one most dangerous word to use in the context of relationships. If you benefit from this video, if you dig what I'm doing here on this channel, and you'd like me to keep creating more content, please take a moment to let me know by clicking the like button below and making sure you are subscribed to my channel. And if you have a question for me or you have a suggestion for a future video topic that you haven't seen me cover on this channel before, please do let me know. I'd love to hear from you by leaving a comment beneath this video. So as I say, probably in most videos, you guys are probably sick of hearing me say it, but I do think it's relevant. I get a lot of email, and since 2013 I've been getting daily emails from retroactive jealousy sufferers from around the world, as well as people going through breakups, people dealing with other kinds of obsessive jealousy, this kind of thing. And there's one word that I see cropping up in my email inbox over and over and over again. Sometimes it's in the subject line, it's often pretty early on in the email. And it's gotten to the point now where when I see an email in my inbox, I can read the first couple sentences and I can tell whether or not this word is going to be included in the rest of the email, just based on the tone, based on the vibe I'm getting from the email very early on. The word that I keep seeing cropping up in my email inbox, and frankly another word that I hear in one-on-one coaching calls with retroactive jealousy sufferers, with obsessive jealousy sufferers, over and over and over again, is the word perfect. I hear things all the time. I read sentences like, "We have the perfect relationship except for retroactive jealousy." Or, "I thought she was perfect except for this one incident from her past, or this one guy she dated, or this one thing she did." Or, "He was an absolutely perfect boyfriend until he did this one thing that really ticked me off." Or, "I'm looking for the perfect man," or "I'm looking for the perfect woman," or "I just want to have a perfect relationship." Why can't everything be perfect? And I was thinking about this before I sat down to record today, like, where does this idea come from? Where do people think that the word perfect and relationships ever belong in the same sentence? Or the word perfect and human being, whether or not those two concepts should ever occupy the same thought? Where does this idea come from? I blame a lot of this on culture, frankly, culture and society. You know, the idea of the soulmate myth, the idea of finding the one with a capital O. And frankly, a lot of these ideas in popular music, in movies, in books, in television shows about perfection in relationships, or finding the perfect person, or the perfect relationship, or building the perfect relationship. A lot of these ideas are driving a lot of people crazy and actually preventing a lot of those same people from having relationships that are far healthier, far more fun, and just far better for them and their partners overall. Because looking for perfection in human beings, looking for perfection in relationships, looking for perfection on Tinder, looking for perfection in a person's past is an exercise in absolute delusion. And you'll drive yourself absolutely crazy if you go looking for perfection in relationships, in dating, in people. Because each of us are all deeply imperfect in all kinds of ways. And frankly, if you have any experience dating over a period of, I'd say probably not until you get in your 30s, maybe, do you really have this full comprehension, this full perspective. But there is no such thing as the perfect partner. There is no such thing as the perfect relationship. And I know, as I say often on this channel, I'm a very lucky guy. I look back on my dating history and I'm extremely happy with the people I've invited into my life, the kind of relationships that I've had. I don't have all kinds of horror stories about cheating and betrayal and all these things. For the most part, I've been really lucky in my dating relationships. And that said, each of those relationships, each of my past relationships were deeply imperfect in all kinds of ways. But what I've come to realize over, dating for however many years I've been an adult, is that looking for perfection will drive me crazy because there's no such thing. Everyone I meet, everyone I choose to bring into my life, any kind of relationship I might set up, is going to have multiple aspects, multiple elements that are imperfect, multiple challenges, multiple personality conflicts, multiple fights that are kind of silly that might recur now and then. This isn't to suggest that striving for better isn't worth it, that striving for a better relationship or a better life or a better partner sometimes isn't worth it. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. But I created this video, and I wanted to create this video just to introduce this idea that perfection doesn't exist, and you'll have a better time in general in your life if you abandon any notion of looking for perfection in your partner, in your relationship, in your partner's past, for example. Because as I often tell retroactive jealousy sufferers, a lot of retroactive jealousy sufferers are under the illusion that if they just break up with this person and find another person with a clean past or a perfect past, I hate this language, but I'll use it. If they find another person with a, let's say, less eventful past, all of a sudden their retroactive jealousy will be cured. They'll never have to deal with this again. When the fact is that unfortunately, this absolute little demon of an issue we call retroactive jealousy has a habit of coming up again and again and again in our lives, regardless of our partner's past, regardless of the exact details of our partner's past. Until we commit to putting in the work, until we really say enough is enough, I'm not going to live with this anymore. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to put this behind me for good. So if I am dating in the future, if I am in another relationship in the future, I'm not going to be struggling with these demons anymore. I'm not going to be having this moral confusion around my partner's past, because I will know what are my deal breakers, what are my values, and what is irrational retroactive jealousy. Unfortunately, retroactive jealousy is one of these issues that really can crop up again and again until we put in the work to beat it. So what I'm saying here is you might find another person in the future. If you're struggling with retroactive jealousy and you break up with your current partner in an attempt to fix it, unfortunately, you might, in your next relationship, you might find someone else with a less eventful history than your partner or than your current partner, and guess what? You'll still be struggling with retroactive jealousy. Because I don't think anyone has a perfect past. You show me a person in their 20s who's made zero mistakes, I don't think that person exists. And so the more we realize that we've all got some degree of baggage, we've all made mistakes, we are each deeply imperfect, the more we really internalize this message, and at the same time realize that there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. The more we realize this, the more relaxed we'll feel, and just the better a time we'll have in general, aside from retroactive jealousy, aside from our relationships, just the more relaxed in general we'll feel, because we're not holding ourselves up to an unattainable standard. We're not holding other people up to an unattainable standard. We're not holding our relationship up to an unattainable standard. There's no such thing as perfect. I remember not that long ago, I was dating a woman, and she said, "Oh, I think you're perfect." And I think she was half kidding, but immediately I said, "No, I'm not." And I looked her in the eye and I meant it. And she was kind of laughing. She kind of thought it was weird that I was doing this, but I wasn't kidding. Even though I think she was kind of joking around, at the same time, I want to make very clear that she knows, that I know, that I am not perfect. God, watch my YouTube channel. Listen to some of the stories I've told about my past. Read my book. My God, I am not perfect. And frankly, I don't want to date anyone who's under any illusions about looking for perfection in human beings. Even though it was a joke, I took it seriously and I said, no, I'm not. And here's a bunch of things that are deeply imperfect about me. And if you know me long enough, if we date long enough, you'll certainly find them out for yourselves. But at the same time, I'm going to put a stop to this language right now. Let's not use the word perfect when we're talking about me or you or human beings or relationships in general. Don't use the word perfect in the context of human beings and relationships, and I promise you, you'll have a better life, you'll have more fun, you'll have a better time in general. Thanks for watching this video. And if you were watching this video, I'd love to know, what do you think? Do you think I'm way off here? Do you think other people can be perfect? Do you think a perfect relationship really exists? Do you like using the word perfect? I would genuinely like to hear back from you. So be sure to leave a comment below with your thoughts. And if you benefited from this video and you'd like me to keep doing this, please take a moment to let me know by clicking the like button below, making sure you are subscribed to my channel. And I will be bringing you another deeply imperfect video very soon.